show! From Michael Bay to Marvel, UK, and everyone on in between. Breaking news and toy reviews, every robot stands wet dream. Grab a brew and join the crew, become part of our scene. Bring your mom, let's drink her on, make sure you're at least 18. Welcome to the show, Zach Marty and Hasbro. Friday nights, let's go, Transformers the show.
Welcome to a TFcon special, which will be taken through the delicate, wonderful, sexy hands of the majestic Andy. And Bisto's going to be providing all the third-party knowledge because we know fuck all. Actually, I shouldn't be swearing on Sunday, should I? Because it's meant to be a day of peace and harmony. We have Pete to bring the muscles and the good looks. Yes, we do need someone else, but Paul's not back yet, Philly, so we are holding out like evil, you know. But yes, getting on with that news. Do we even need to put in a news title? Or I suppose
I dropped some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
Are we mentioning the other news then afterwards?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
are we starting with that? I thought we'd be starting with it. Sorry, we didn't actually
Yeah.
discuss this before because we were just chatting about nonsense. But I think we should, shouldn't we?
Yeah. Just you go. I'll mention once you guys have mentioned. Yeah.
So, Pete, you do it because
Fine. Okay. On Friday night, we acknowledged that we've seen a massive spike in subscribers to both the YouTube channel and on other social media platforms, and that spike continues at a ridiculously steep trajectory up until the early hours of this morning, where we crossed over the magic 4,000 YouTube subscribers, which, as my learned colleagues will agree, is a momentous occasion. It's a massive milestone. We've never done this for the glory. It's a byproduct of the it's a byproduct of what we do. Yeah. I mean, apart from Andy, Jamie, and Paul. But for us to hit a number like that when really it's massive. And do you know what? Please allow us for a couple of minutes to puff our chests up and bask in the glory that we've just hit such a mental milestone. And I haven't been able to get rid of my smile all day long.
I don't have champagne to pop, so I'm just gonna have a drink of the last beer left in the fridge.
But yes, it's been a fantastic, wonderful event to reach over 4K, and I'm ecstatic and I'm happy, and it's brilliant. And you know what? It makes it easier because every Friday we've got the same bunch of people who we speak to and chat to every Friday in this. So yeah, thank you, because it's you guys that make it so palatable, make it so wonderful and majestic. Thank you again.
Yeah, what he said. So yes, 4,000 subscribers, mental, absolutely mental. I still remember when we broke 100. Sorry,
I'd say, speaking as one of the people who's regularly in your chat on a Friday, we had such a great laugh. People who view the show, and you're always good to be inclusive of everyone who is part of this. So I think we'd all like to say a big congratulations to you all, and very well done. And let's hope for many more. Keep it going, guys.
Yes, 5,000 next. Friggin' smash it. Thank you, Bisto. Right, shall we do the news then? The third party TFcon Baltimore news, because of our deep love for third party. And thank you, Bisto, for joining us to give us a hand with this. So we'll start off with this, which was kind of pre the actual panel. And this was Ocular Max Versus, which is their version of RID Ruination, that was on display at TFcon. I always want to say TFUKCon, but it is TFcon, which is, a fierce-looking version of that kind of version of Brute. I know it's not Bruticus, but let's be brutally honest, it is. It's just repainted and given different names. Yeah.
I love God.
That figure there, that's the arm Rotor. I think there's already people who've picked it up from the con because it was a con exclusive, and there's photos going around. So I'm sure there'll be some videos up if I'd searched on YouTube for them. But yeah,
I'm sure Matt Baldwin's probably got one up by now, has he?
Yeah. It's a nice looking team anyway. It looks good. I'm sure it's solid because the original version was supposed to be very good as well. There was also Ocular Max's Destructor, which is their version of Devastator, on display. With that's a Pack for Life reviews. They're holding it for scale, so you get an idea of the size. And yeah, I mean, it looks good. Not a hell of a lot of detail, so I guess it's a bit more toon in its kind of design. But
I think a lot of the limbs are still prototype, just 3D printed. This is what it's going to look like, and I'm not sure how many of them are actually out now. So
yes,
some of them are just placeholders rather than the actual.
Well, if it looks like good once it's done, yeah, scale on it and everything works really well. Well proportioned, as a famous friend of mine once said. Right, we'll move from that onto the actual panel, because this is kind of where you got to the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. So there's loads. There is a lot, and I will say now, if you want to see like every single photo, they're all online at places like TFW 2005, which is where I was able to find these pictures. I haven't downloaded all of them because it's like 300 pictures, and we'd be here till Tuesday. So we're going to move through fairly rapidly.
It's the biggest fan event in America, isn't it? Transformers fan event in America. And all the American YouTubers have been meeting up, so they have lots of stuff and a lot of their own personal stuff to show as well. So have a TFcon weekend. Look at, you know, as YouTubers, we often think of just about our own show, but seriously, look at everyone else talking about this stuff. It's amazing.
Anyway, this is the company Defense.
Only like their stuff.
We have already seen some of this stuff, because some of this stuff has kind of either been leaked out or we've just picked up on it before the show. So this is their version of the Fall of Cybertron Grimlock, which we have seen before, hence why I'm not going to spend.
And you know, that looks sexy because it gives me images of the original G1 toy as well, you know, with the bigger head and stuff.
Yeah, the scale of it, again, is quite good, and the proportions on it are quite good.
It's a definite buy.
Up nicely. Yeah, I was going to say, for you, it's got to be as a Grimlock, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Was it going straight into your mouth, Pete? Is it that good?
Licking the lead paint off that bad boy. Mechanical Skull Studios have been showing off some of their stuff as well. So we've got MSS-03, which is basically their version of an Armada Demolisher, which, if you're a Unicron Trilogy fan, like kind of me, and there's a fair amount of the people out there who are, you know, we're kind of eating pretty well right now from every company, really, including Hasbro, for Unicron Trilogy toys. This is just a prototype, obviously, at this stage, but it certainly looks like Demolisher from the cartoon.
Jacob is asked a question for our third-party expert, Bisto. An MP guy. It's a third-party Devastator, but fit and scale of the current Hasbro figures. Well, to be honest, Jacob, as a chug collector, the scale thing's kind of gone out of sync just now. So anything that looks good and big, I would be happy with.
Yep, scale is an illusion.
Just in my 40s.
Yeah, just find a Devastator that you like the look at, and just learn to think that looks about the right size.
Exactly. I mean,
that's your best bet.
What you can do, and I'll just shove myself up here just to demonstrate.
You'll do what now?
You can have your Devastator like that close to you, and it's bigger. Then you can go away from you, and it'll be smaller. Although it's opposite.
This Devastator is close to you. That one's far away. Anyway,
close. Far away, and then his scale changes almost like magic, and it works. It works.
And then we've got also the Armada Seeker Hellwarp with it says Skybite head. Although this to me looks very much, in a second, that head looks very much like the Ramjet, Universe Ramjet that we got. Yeah, it's down here as being Hellwarp with Skybite head. So yeah. I mean, I guess they'd know, seeing as these notes came direct from the panel.
I just like the way the hands are opened, you know.
Yeah. And then there's obviously the Starscream version as well.
Yeah, I think the hands are interchangeable. They've got different hand options. I think
always a good thing.
Yeah, It's just I have the first release of the Starscream. It's very good.
I think a Murder Starscream is sexy. I think it's one of the best sort of
It's been a what?
characters you can do a mold from.
It's the
Sexy. I think
Confessions
you
of
have
Jamie.
sex with it. I mean, I'm not single. I'm taking.
Too late
me once
now.
I love you, girls. You know.
This is going to be one of those moments when you look back, Jamie, and think, "Why was I still talking there? Just stop." I've said it's sexy. Leave it at that. Right, New Age.
Never happens.
We've seen some of this already before, of course. We've got their version of their G1 Megatron, which I believe was called Romulus, I think, from memory. And we have seen these photos before. It is a
But he
very
looks different,
good-looking
doesn't
version.
he? Now I thought he looked different to that images.
There's a cartoon and there's a toy version that we've definitely seen. I'm sure there'll be other ones that will be coming out as well. You know what it's like with like
I
New
like
Age and
the
other
cartoon.
companies.
I like this version if it's a cartoon version. I don't like the toy version.
Well, it's funny you should mention the toy version because knowing how much you loved it, there are some photos of it coming up. But we have seen these before. Again, it's why we're not spending too much time on them because we've talked about this.
Oh God, it's hideous.
quite a lot.
Do you know, I just think it would have made it better if they gave it a big knob. Do you know, like the original toy version had? Do you know, with the handles going out? That would have made it
Sexy
interesting.
Armada Starscream and Megatron with a knob is what we've got so far, and we're 11 minutes in.
Megatron.
We had a good run, didn't we? We reached
Yeah,
the
it was going well.
4,000.
It was going well.
Peak.
And then we also have, as well as the toy version, there we also have Oddball, which is their version of Warpath, which again I've seen quite a few people pleased with the look of this. Yeah, I mean it's a Warpath.
I must have apologised. I did get all Braveheart earlier, got all patriotic about being Scottish, but I'm Scottish.
You definitely are. And then there's Bomber, which is their version of Gears. So if you like Gears, you're eating pretty well at the moment as well. Because
it's not too bad actually.
Oh, look, the opening chest.
They're all copying Hasbro now, aren't
Yeah,
they?
love
that's
Hasbro.
flat.
Yeah, that's a third part you're
Yeah.
always up to, isn't it?
Flashing.
Anyway, then there's Swerve, which is called Buffer, whatever.
Boffer.
That's his name.
We need a decent chug Swerve, you know.
Are they going to run out? Are they going to run out of dwarf names?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Is that what these are all coming from? Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Dwarf
Yeah.
names. Brilliant.
It's nice
Can't
to
wait
see
to
your
see-
PC in this show.
This
Really?
third party and Dungeons and Dragons.
Lord-
I'm assuming.
Lord of the Rings.
The Hobbit. Yeah.
Oh, is it the Hobbit? There you go.
Mhm.
And then there's
so.
a couple more photos. There's Oddball again in quite a nice little action pose there, and looking quite cool as that tank with a little blast effect. And that does look quite good, if you like the
Yeah,
ball.
but he's got a stunted cannon, hasn't he? It's more like this is an Indian
Surely it
tank rather than a
extends
good
though.
British
I mean,
tank.
if every other toy company can manage to make it extend, i.e. Hasbro.
Sentences
And then-
you hear without any context.
Iacon 3D Labs are doing a Tyrannosaurus throne, which is a legend scale throne for their Grimlocks. So, Pete, again, this might be of interest to you. There he is, sitting upon his throne.
Yeah,
I mean, I
they look
don't
pretty
know what
cool.
else to say.
Yeah, they look pretty cool, but I don't know. No.
Figure and
Space is
weapon not included.
Space is a premium at the minute. I don't
Hmm.
think we need any more chairs.
Then they're also doing an Arc Command Center, which I think comes. There's one part of this. Oh, that's the command center part.
That
So you
looks
can
quite
get that.
dainty and quite cool.
Imagine
You know?
you get
Go on.
the arcs, the New Age arc scene, and then you have a pan around in the camera, and then you've got that in there, and I don't know.
And behind it, you could put the display blaze stand from what they call
Super 7.
Super 7.
Oh, what an epic diorama that would be. Anyway, there you go. So you got an arc charging station and storage, which will be available separately.
That is
And
quite cool, though.
Yeah.
We need an upscaled version for the chug figures.
Grimlock ain't getting through that door, is he?
Oh, that
not
chug.
easily. And then the Arc and Nemesis display risers. So for displaying your figures, the Arc one, there you go.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
and then a Nemesis version for your Decepticons as well. It's a nice display idea.
I like that they've got handrails for safety first,
Hold on, just in case. And then we'll move on to Iron Factory. So we've got Death Cobra. Again, I feel like we've seen a fair amount of this, if not all of this before, but we'll quickly go through. So obviously part of the Leo Kaiser, which lots of people we know.
I think the big thing about TFcon is a lot of these people get to see these things in hand, don't they? They get to see them in display cases. They get to touch them, feel them.
Where are you going with this, Jeremy?
I don't know. I figured I should stop.
Yeah, I really think you should. Ask yourself, what the others say this? Good helicopter mode, though. There.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times as well, the panels are kind of there for people who may not be religiously following third-party news as well.
Yeah.
So we don't really watch stuff on the internet, as it were.
Not as on top of the news as obviously we all are.
No.
Being experts in all areas.
Mm-hmm.
I like the colours.
Colours.
It's a really good set so far. So I'm looking forward to it.
I've heard a lot of good things about it from the people who are collecting. Like, people are really looking forward to the next one. So it must be a good set. Then there's their version of the Fallen.
Sunstreaker Titans on it. And he's very excited.
That's it. There's quite a few people, I think, who are as well, including Borders Dude. I'm sure he's collecting that as well. They're Fallen, again, very flamey, very fiery.
Yeah.
But you know what? The Chug Fallen looks far better, but this does look quite cool. It's
without wishing to make it a Chug versus third party, I have to say I prefer the look of the Chug version, but this looks cool.
Well, this is Legend Scale, and this is the second deco of it. It was released earlier this year as Chaos Blaze. I've got a copy of, and that's more similar to the Chug one. And then this one is even fiery, even more fire.
This does look fucking mental. It does look mental.
It's photos like that, though, that make you want to get the figure, but then you have to have some permanent diorama set up so it always looks like that with proper lighting.
With real fire.
It's just constant fire in the house. Always remember to turn it off before you go to bed. Anyway, there's the tank mode. We'll call it tank mode. Then that takes us on to TFC Toys, who have done their...
If you go back and look at that again, it's a stunted cannon. Like,
that's the style of the time, Jamie.
I feel some of these designers are looking at the wrong thing for scale.
Well, they're projecting. Anyway, it is Jakiro, which is hunger. The hunger that people have been waiting for this for TFC Toys for a while.
Yeah.
People were even selling their sets and starting to sell them because I think people thought it wasn't coming. And here it is. We have shown a bit of this before. And it's a stylized hunger, but I like the look of it.
Yeah, I do. I like them. Not enough to pay for the money that people are asking for them, but they're quite good. Actually, trouble with third party, isn't it? You really want to pre-order this stuff now because it can come very expensive very quickly.
Yeah. It's the aftermarket gets a bit ridiculous with things, but again, it's like with the standard Hasbro as well. Really,
can be.
The third party, the prices for the late tax, as it were, for not getting stuff early. You don't know if stuff is either going to go on sale and you go, all right, I got that a lot cheaper than I thought, or you're going to be paying through the end, paying hen's teeth for stuff. So it's just the risk you got to take as a collector, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it's a hard game.
You see people complaining about it a lot about the secondary price, and I get it, but that's why pre-ordering.
People don't understand the pain that 3 white guys and very Scottish person go for it.
Anyway, I don't really have anything to say there.
I got no response.
It looks awesome, though.
It does.
Is that gun big enough?
No, it is. Yeah, it looks really good. The whole thing looks really good combined. So I'm looking forward to seeing some reviews when it's all released. And there's a lot of love going for the Terracons, and as we'll see further on, the Technobots as well. As we're moving on, speaking of which, I think Craftsman Toys. So we've already seen these before. So again, we won't spend a ton of time on them. But there's Nose Cone, Steel Drill, as they're calling
I
him.
do love the pictures you see from the third party people. It's just amazing.
They do a very good job of making it look desirable. Like, you know.
I'm gonna get these. I'm gonna get these.
And then we have Motor, which is their afterburner. I think this looks really good personally. I mean, especially when you see the alt mode as well. It just like, for me, wow, that's like a modern G1 version of the toy.
Especially when you think the Chug versions weren't that great. Now I know I've got the Takara versions, which are far superior, but
not always, as we discovered on Friday.
they just weren't.
Wow,
these look good.
Look at that. I mean, you know, it's a cool little thing, and it's not the only version we'll see as we go through the pictures there as well. So, you know, if you are a Technobot fan, you're going to be quite pleased, I think. Well, unless you don't like them.
I mean, people dying well.
Fucking live it.
R mode.
Just out of interest, how many Legends figures do you need to have to be classed as a collector? Because I still class myself as not a Legends collector.
2.
Is it like 2+?
Have you got more than 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got more than 2 Grimlocks.
Legends piece. Anyway, here's Scattershot, which is called Razor for them, obviously, because, you know, they don't want
How
to
many
get sued.
women do you need to have sex with before your class not a virgin anymore?
Only one.
I was so close.
That's a beefy Scattershot as well. That's like proper meaty.
Scorponok. He looks like a very, very Scorponok look in the head.
Yeah. I like that alt mode though. I mean, that angle of it anyway. There's another angle I saw that wasn't quite as good, but you know,
I don't think
always looking at it from one
guy was good.
Yeah, I was gonna. How many of you had?
I had 14. I've been checking all day.
Where were we? I think they're calling the combined mode, the Computron mode, Tactic Lord. It'll be on there somewhere.
Rolls off the tongue.
There you go. It does. It's there on the poster, Tactic Lord. So that's what, like, basically roughly what the combined mode will look like.
It looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah. Let's hope the colours. The colours continue to pop on Scattershot and Afterburner, but it looks fantastic.
It does. Collection space. Sorry, go on.
I keep seeing lots of videos of TFcon of all happy Americans running around from, like, you know, exhibit to exhibit, taking photos. It must be. We need to go one day, lads. We need to go.
Yeah, I think it's a very different thing to TFN in that sense. It feels to me like when you watch the videos that it's more like you know, like London Comic Con, where there's lots of different stands that are displaying each thing, and you kind of run around to get to see them. Whereas I suppose at TFN that's more the I almost called it the dinner hall, the trainer hall, but it is like you're eating because you are gorging yourself on those pots. Anyway, Collection Space are doing a female version of Starscream. Again, I feel like we've looked at leaked photos of this before. It's the usual, you know, robot with TNA. It's a Starscream, 19 centimeters tall. Loads of options for display in terms of, I think, the little bits and pieces you get with it.
I'm not even getting the tape measure up. It's a no from me.
Detachable backpack, so you can kind of shrink it down. You know, it's all right.
The alt mode actually
I'm gonna
decent.
I don't know if you've got a picture of the stand here on this one.
Oh, do you know what? I don't think I've bothered downloading the stand because normally people aren't that excited about the stands.
The stand gets me very excited because it's a stand that's got like lever on to put the figure on, but it also has a pull-out drawer in which you can put all the extra hands and guns and accessories. And I think more people need to do that because we just get so much shit packed in with figures nowadays that just have a little storage thing in your stand is just an extra little
genius
chef's kiss.
That's still the middle class voice.
Yeah.
The alternate faces are a bit like the one. Is that actually like a human style tongue sticking out? That's a bit. I find that a bit off.
I've got to be honest with you. I think Transformers look fucking weird without teeth in their tongue.
I love firstly how committed you were when you said that, but also how you sat there looking angry afterwards. I demand that we all accept.
I like that it flips from missile to null ray. I think that's a really clever.
I mean,
clever little design thing, that, isn't it?
The best comic work I've seen is when Transformers have got Papa Mouse, and they've even artists have putting tongues there. When they have that mesh, or when they don't know what they're doing and they go, it just always looks weird.
It always humanized them for me back in the comics when they made them have the mouth and the tongue thing. It just made it, I don't know, it just made it more relatable, I guess. Make Toys, who make toys, are doing this one, which I think again was a con exclusive that people could pick up Violet Hour. I think that's just the name of it. I don't think it's based on a particular Seeker necessarily. It looks a bit like that one that came in the Trooper pack, color wise. But yeah, it's a Seeker.
And what sort of scale is this?
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. But
Get
again, you might
excellent. Yeah.
But it's just like Make Toys, get something else out soon, because you've done a Seeker in every shade of purple so far.
There's only so many you can do.
Well, I think there's an infinite amount actually of Seekers they can do, but he's just getting a bit. Just release the figure, please.
Anyway, Iron Trans. They have been showing off their Victory Saber and Victory Leo. So I believe the Star Saber, that's been out for a little while, hasn't it? Because I've seen people selling them. I'm sure it was the Iron Trans one. I think Sixo was selling his not that long ago. Get the tape measure out there, Pete. Check it out for us. 34 centimeters for Victory Leo.
It's freaking massive.
21 centimeters tall in its lion thing mode.
Again, I refer you to comment A. That is still massive.
And as we're Transformers the show, remember Leo is actually basically Optimus Prime, isn't he? Brought back to life.
Yeah, I think that's that's like the backstory to it all, isn't it? Not reincarnated, but that kind of thing.
Well, one of the versions of Convoy. Yeah.
57 centimeters on the wingspan.
That is mental.
That is, yeah. Look at them shoes.
Yeah.
Put Ruckus to shame with them, wouldn't he?
He's got boot, man.
I love how
42 centimeters in specific height.
Pinball wizard, isn't he?
I look forward to seeing the proper thing, because these are obviously like illustrations rather than if it looks as good as that, it will look good. To be fair,
I think we have a new scale, and I think it's Masterpiece Plus, because that is ridiculous. That is ridiculously tall.
Bingo Toys. They've got again some Computron action coming on.
Yeah.
Galileo, which I think is a better name than the one we had for the last one. I've forgotten what was that
Galileo.
Tactic Lord. So we've got Galileo now. And we've had obviously some pictures of their versions of the characters. So there's their version of Afterburner, which they're calling Newton.
Afterburner is much better, but is that because it's a Masterpiece now?
Yeah, that's MP scale, so we've got a bit more room to.
And then Strafe, which they're calling Hertz.
Yeah.
That's quite a nice looking Strafe. And then we have their Scattershot, which is Einstein.
Fuck's sake, 2025 is going to be well expensive.
Einstein plagiarized
2024's been cheap.
Einstein plagiarized a lot of his wife's work. His wife was actually an exceptional physicist, and actually probably a lot of people said much more intelligent than Einstein.
History of the show.
Transformers the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm a scientist at my core. I'm sorry.
Yeah. This is it's good to have a
scientist, Jim. Anyway, let's move on. I know he was a doctor, but let's just crack on. And then you've got a picture of the three of them together. I'm trying to remember if we have the picture of the combined mode somewhere on here as well. There's that many photos I downloaded. It is quite hard sometimes to remember them all. The alt modes are all right, although I don't think that Scattershot alt mode looks as nice as the previous one we saw. But, personal choice.
For party collectors, is it more like you cherry pick what you really like? Where chug collectors, we seem to buy
I mean, it is various. It depends. Everyone has their own wheelhouse of what they get. You can't possibly buy everything. and I think there's certain companies you avoid, certain companies that you stick with. So some people are loyal to companies. Some people will just be like, "Oh, I like these characters from this specific arc of Transformers." Other people will just cherry pick and go, "Oh, this looks nice. This looks well built. I'll give this a go." But yeah, it's you tend to just be more selective. Yeah.
That looks decent anyway. They look decent, I should say. I like the robot modes in particular.
Well, this is like Bingo's first combiner, and I think the only ones they've released Purple Potato, which was a Shockwave that transformed into, was it the Nemesis or was it Galvatron?
Oh, the Revenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did Wind Girl, which was the Wind Blade. So I don't know if they're going to be good at actually doing a combined things, so just time will tell.
Could be fun to find out.
Yeah.
Magic Square have been dropping, obviously, the Combaticons. We've seen Brawl before, looking very nice. They were also showing off the Shockwave, which I couldn't remember myself whether we'd seen the Shockwave. Again, I felt like we had, but there it is in gun mode, or laser cannon, whatever you want to call it. And there's robot mode. Still a nice looking Shockwave.
So he's a re-release of the Legend of Shockwave, but they've made him adaptable to go into the hand pegs of Bruticus. So
cool compatibility. We like that. It's Munitioner, isn't it? They call him, which we've had a look at several times before. So again, we won't spend ages looking at this again, but I think most people agreed it looked pretty decent. I don't think Billy was a fan of it.
No.
No. Leg mode, because we all love a good leg mode, and 2 legs. Look at that. You're on your way.
That's how I'm displaying them. That's how I'm displaying them.
Yeah. This is the way.
You need 2 legs.
And then just 2 mates having a laugh.
Although some of us look like we've got 3 legs sometimes, but yeah. 2 legs is what you need.
This is the Sunday service, isn't it?
And welcome to Songs of Praise.
Yeah.
01 Studio, who were Studio Cell, weren't they? But they're changing their name apparently. They've been showing off their Combaticons, basically. Not just their Combaticons, but that's what we're looking at first. So you've got Catastrophe, who is their scrapper.
I like these photos. It's kind of like a subdued crotch first, isn't it? It's subdued, not going to
subdued crotch. Minimalist crotch thrust. Just a hint of it. Just the slightest hint of
a tease.
Quite stylized again.
Yeah, it's a no from me.
Yeah, I mean, I have to be honest. The alt mode is where it definitely loses me. It just looks like a block with the thing on the front. Yeah. Without wishing to sound harsh, but I just think I've seen better third-party versions of, the Constructicons.
I just thought they hadn't finished it. Like someone's not.
Well, maybe they haven't. Maybe that is
it is very blocky.
Yeah, just a bit. And they are
Did you say blocky?
Desolator. Blockies! Not mention them. Hey. And then there's Tremor, which is their long haul.
When's the third party blockies panel?
When you get some blockies in there and cover it in honey and lick it off slowly.
We've lost him again. It's like he's blacked out. Right. Anyway, there you can see a bit of comparison of the alt modes.
It's a nice green, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I like the colours. I mean, that's the thing, though. It should be difficult to mess up the colours on a Devastator. It should be, because just go with the classic. It works. There is Demolition, which is their Hook. Disastrous, which is their Mix Master. Again, decent looking. Quarry, which is their Scavenger, as we dig ourselves into a bigger hole. And Earthshock, which is their bone. That's the one that for me looks the least like the original. Well, maybe the long hole as well, but other than the legs, I look at that and I wouldn't have immediately said that's Bone Crusher. That is. But there you go.
I'd be interested to see how popular this proves to be, because they are very stylized, and I think with the amount of Constructicons that are out at the minute on third party, it'd be interesting to see if these sell.
Yeah,
I
there's
think.
so many choices out there, and there's so much, whether people want to go with mainline or want to go with a third party company. If you love Constructicons, you are doing well for yourself right now. And then, as you sneakily saw, because I clicked too early, Dino Combiner. So this is, this swoop is called Erebus. So they're doing a Dino Combiner. Why do Dinobots have to combine all the time now? Anyway, they are. Maybe it'll be really good, though, to be fair. Well, there you go.
I've not seen the episodes, but I think this is based on the Cyberverse Dinobots.
Yeah, is it?
That's why, and I've not seen the episodes. I think in Cyberverse, was it just 3 of them that combined? Because this is a 3 Dinobot combiner.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I can't remember from Cyberverse. Cyberverse seems such a long time ago. It sometimes slips from my memory. But I like the snarl again. A little bit stylized, but the bot mode looks good.
Excellent. If it turns out like that.
Pointy nipples
to touch, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Danger.
Get the bandages close by, Jamie.
Yeah.
And then their version of Sludge. I'm not a fan of the front feet.
No, that's wrong.
But it's just a render now, isn't it? So maybe it'll look better in real life. And there he is.
Yeah, that's okay.
Spiky. And then the combiner is Mauna Loa. This is Mauna Loa is the name for Slug. I do apologize.
Look at them spikes. Look at them. Look at that.
He's quite metal, literally.
He's just
as if he wasn't spiky enough.
It's proper Cyberverse, isn't it? That looks like it's come straight out of Cyberverse.
And then a bit of Broadside, which they're calling BoardCon. So, you're a Broadside fan? This might be right up your alley. Or a Wreckers fan, I suppose, because he was part of the Wreckers, wasn't he? One version at least of the Wreckers. So,
he's been there.
Looks decent. Toy head rather than comic book.
Yeah.
But third party, you often get the other head, don't you? You get the alternative faces and stuff like that. So maybe
occasionally,
or they'll do another version of it.
Is that like 60 centimeters long? Massive.
The size of your room. Oh, look at that jet mode. Oh, that's very G1 toy.
That is a peak jet mode.
But yeah, it's not bad. And then they showed off. There you go, 345 millimeters. So 34.5 centimeters for those of us who prefer in that.
It's freaking massive. That is huge.
You're big boy. Yeah. You're very big boy. Go on. Questions from the floor?
No, I don't know if you haven't finished with Broadside. If you haven't finished with Broadside, finish.
No, we finished with Broadside. There is something else coming up, but if you had a question about Broadside, now would be the time.
No.
And this is their Fortress, which is their Metroplex, which is, and again, big boy. That's for scale, a size reference next to their version of Seed. It was Seed, wasn't it? Their version of Primus. So yeah, stocky lad.
Yeah, look at them. Look at them.
His legs.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Leg day.
That's a lot of plastic.
Sorry, I thought we had more than photos of it than that. I mean, that's a good one just to give you that size reference. So if you've already got Seed, if you're watching this and you've got that, you will now know that this is going to be a big lad, which takes us on to X-Transport.
Have they not got a Grimlock?
Zero on Seed, yeah?
Yeah.
No, it's just free. It's just 4 Dinobots that combine, yeah. Because in Cyberverse, I think Grimlock was a separate character, and then they brought the Dinobots.
Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. He's really much more, wasn't he? We'll crack on anyway because time is ticking, and we do need to try and finish up before work on Monday. So X-Transbots treated us to another photo of Misfire. And that's it. Anyway, let's move on to Fantastic Model. X-Transbots weren't exactly expansive with
We've
their
got
stuff.
5 minutes left because we have people going to be watching Dave's stuff.
Here's Doc, which is Ratchet, of course. We seem to be getting a lot of Ratchets and Ironhides at the moment, G1 style. I don't know much about this company. Do you, Bisto? Have you?
It's FansToys.
Oh, it is FansToys. Then that's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, looks good. Comes with all the usual bits and pieces that you would want.
It's got a red and white head, so he can do Marvel comic style. So
look how happy he can look when he's fixing Ironhide.
Oh, murdering soul.
And Ironhide, who is Warhorse, which is quite an apt name. You can do it like the old G1 toy if you wish to. I'm not sure why you would, but you might want to. Alt mode is the alt mode. Looks good. And yeah, I like the robot mode. I think that's
these look great. These look great.
Yep.
And of course, you've got to have the jetpack flying mode as well, because iconic. Well, for those of us of a certain age, anyway. And there he is in his happiest, literally blasting and drilling. And why not? Again, similar accessories and stuff that come with it. Then we had FansToys, who have, again, more Constructicons. So there's their version of Hook. I mean, the scrap has been out for a little while, hasn't it? Lots of people reviewing that.
Yeah,
I saw Sam Thompson's little mini review that he did on a Facebook post where he seemed to suggest that the robot and vehicle mode, vehicle mode he seemed a bit disappointed in. Robot mode was okay, but then obviously the combined leg mode he said was really good. So I don't know. Maybe you're getting this if you really want that combined set. And there you go. You've got him there, as he will be in the combined mode. And there he is next to Scrapper. I forget what they've called him now. But yeah, I mean, it looks good. It looks good. And a lot of excitement around this one, Sovereign 2.0. So some people are asking, do we need one? Because Sovereign's still such a good figure, but you're getting one. So we're getting a Sovereign 2.0. How do you feel about that, Bisto? You've got Sovereign, have you?
Yeah, well, I've got Sovereign. I've got him in the comic deco, toy deco. So it just seems a bit. They've got so much other figures that they've not touched yet. It's like why start going back on figures now? Yeah. Well, I mean, they always have done. FansToys have revised things slightly here and there, but such a kind of a big figure that's like still talked about to this day as being one of the best, third-party representations out there, and they've gone, oh no, we're going to do it again. Like, take some money, mate.
It's a bit strange.
Maybe
would you
maybe
see the size of Ultra Magnus pistol?
Jamie's got his eyes on this.
No, it doesn't scale.
No.
It doesn't scale. Sovereign's too big.
Yeah. So unless they know that, maybe they know that there's Hasbro have got a announcement down the line somewhere where they're going to be doing, and they're trying to beat him to the post to get some more money out of Galvatron before there's an MP one. I don't know, but it just seems a bit odd.
If you feel like it after the show, you can go back and pause this and decide which Galvatron you are today.
Yeah.
What's the changes? What's the actual changes? Just more head sculpts?
I think it's an overall change. I think engineering,
isn't it? Yeah.
I think all the engineering. I think because the alt mode looks different how they've laid it out. So
I think some people are just worried. The first one was so good. Did it need an update? And will this be as good? But time will tell. Fans Hobby. We already knew about Obsidian Commander because that was the con exclusive, and we showed some photos of this off previously. And it does look very nice. Again, keep an eye on places like Kapow. That might well be getting some of these in if they haven't already put them up for pre-order. The Blaster team, we've seen loads of shots of the prototypes of these that have been going on. Yeah, looking good. Again, some of this stuff is stuff we've seen before, so we won't waste too much time looking over it again. We have covered this before. Looks good with their version of Armada Megatron, which again I hear is a very good version of Armada Megatron. And yeah, they're going to be out there. So you got the Saber team, the Shield team, the Blaster team. You can pick them all up. We had this one, which was Energon Wing Saber, and we've seen grey prototypes of this, but now we've got a coloured version. There's the alt mode. Yes, that is what it looked like in the original toy. So, that's it.
Yeah.
And of course, we have the combination with the Energon Optimus Prime, should you wish. And there's an alternate way of combining it as
No
well.
pressure,
So you've got
Andy.
choices.
We've got like 4 minutes left.
Oh, we are flying through. Don't you worry about that, son. Mastermind Creations. We're getting into the last leg now. We already seen this. This is Ultio Senator, the version of...
I didn't like
Ratbat.
this, so we could move on.
Jamie doesn't like this, so we're moving on. Possibly the best third-party name I've seen this year, Insertus, which is their version of Groot. Nice. Right up there with Erector.
So sexualized.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? Who would do that? Anyway, there you go. We've seen some of the photos of the prototypes of that. There's Rotor, or Chops as they call him, and again, some people have this in hand, so there will be reviews going up, I am sure, very soon. Looks good. And then more Constructicons. So we, of course, have Bone Crusher, which looks good. And there we have the all built-in combiner. It's a CAD model, obviously, but still.
It's like he's
there's
got
the
high
Devastator.
heels, doesn't he? It's like
A little bit. And as you can see, it says combiner color change gimmick. I'd be interested to see what exactly that is. And rolling treads, which is what you're paying the money in. Paying the money for, rather. Rolling treads.
Gimmick. You like pour water on and it changes colours.
You put it in hot water for a while, just like the 80s. And there's Stray. Now, is this a Stray 2.0 or something? I thought we had a Stray previously.
I think they had Stray in the Chugs to Piece scale,
right?
Which was which was had his more Cybertronian mode, and this is more MP with a Earth mode.
Right, there you go. It looks good though, and somebody's as you say on one site, somebody had done some comparison shots with like what it should look like, the original design, and that was the end of those panels. But then the last couple of bits that we had to share with you, which were kind of late breaking things. So you've got Mastermind Creations R53 Tyrantron, that was on display at TFcon, looking very IDW Megatron-y from at least one part of IDW. And a bit Combiner Warsy too. And then I think the last thing that we had was this. So this is Hengekin Forever Leader, which apparently is going to be a Chug scale Optimus Prime. And it comes with a Megatron fusion cannon as well. So you can try and recreate, that comic book panel that everybody recreates.
James Roberts did mention that he thinks the Transformers 1 movie has reignited interest in IDW Transformers, and obviously the current Transformers franchise right now going out. So that's quite interesting.
Yeah. Well, that was a question that was asked. I think it was on Team Reviews or something like that. It's the person sharing it. There was questions about could this be third-party companies moving towards Chug, and I think other people have probably been asking the same question, but we will wait and see. I don't know if we're at that point yet. And that was basically everything pretty much that we've had from TFcon this weekend so far. Any other bits we'll try and mop up for Friday.
Yes. Well, thank you for that, Andy. That was amazing. Wonderful third-party knowledge there from you, Bisto. Pete, that's nice to see you. No, actually, everyone's been wonderful. It's been great. And again, thank you again for the support. We made it to 4K. That is really amazing. In fact, to be honest, when we made it past 150, we were ecstatic. When we made it past 750, we're in the big league now. We were like that, 750 followers. Every time we get an extra follower, we celebrate it. I wouldn't say we're that desperate, but we like it.
We're not desperate. I mean, we're not asking for people to like, to share, or to subscribe. But if people do, that's up to them, isn't it? That's their choice. So we appreciate everyone who does.
Yeah, we do. So thank you again.
Thank you to everyone.
Brilliant.
And I think that's it. Is it, Jamie? We're done. Let's get off so we can all go and watch Is Lily and Dave Nipples.
Wait a minute. I want to do